how did you get into raving? Because I know that you're still really into it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Is it something that did it take you away from all this? Is it something like when you discovered it, it was like, oh, this is like
it
a
took
almost like a family
me.
feeling or something, or
I would have to say it was a because between the bullying and school, I did have a lot of communication with a lot of people because I was a drug addict, but I had never felt more a like accepted and a part of something. You know what I mean? Just
mm-hmm.
like how we're explaining my life, we're just like, oh, just kind of like fucking it off. Like I was, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have really much going on, but I had found something that had really was able to break me out of the fucking shell of just like not like nastiness, you know. And it was very random, but it happened, and you know, it was kind of just like a random thing. It happened randomly, my first rave.
So how
Yeah.
often would you go to raves?
Well, starting in '07 after Monster Massive, which was October, the October rave, which the Halloween one, I went directly to the New Year's one, which was Together as One, and then right after that, in between there, we're going to like in between these, things, we're going to like little underground parties and stuff like that, and and after Together as One, we had the first EDC, which was EDC 2009, and or no, EDC 2008, excuse me. And then and then it just constantly was like a revolving thing. It was like EDC, and then Halloween, and then fucking New Year's, and the EDC, and then Halloween, and then New Year's, and then in between we're doing other things, and we're going to other events and hanging out with people and meeting people, and we had like MySpace and shit, and back then there was also Plur Life, and so it was a whole like MySpace for ravers, and so I was like, I met a lot of people, and still talk to people from those days. So it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything. I was just kind of partying.
And I'm guessing the type of people is very eclectic too, right? So you probably got a lot of rich kids, poor kids.
You had a whole bunch of everything. You had,
Was this like your first exposure to people that weren't like gang members and drug addicts? And I mean, I'm sure a lot of people did drugs, but what I'm saying is there's
my
probably
first
a,
experience. It's my first concert was at 17, if you want to look at it. So yeah, it was kind of my first
but you're meeting people that
experience.
have different kind of backgrounds than you.
Yeah, I'm experiencing like my thing because none of my friends did any of this. Like, really like my close friends, nobody, like I was kind of just doing stuff on my own at that point and meeting a whole bunch of people and kind of just like eventually enveloped all of my friends around me. You know what I mean? Like everybody
Mm.
was now like, I was taking my friends to raves. Like at one point I was making the tickets when it was paper tickets. I would buy a ticket and then I would go to Kinko's and I would make copies of them, and I would take all of my friends and then I would sell them. So I was going in with a good amount of money. I remember one time I left a rave with more drugs than I went in with. I didn't. It was crazy. So I was just doing a bunch of weird shit.